Hey, Captain Logos here, preacher at large, teaching the word inspiring, 5 minutes at a time. Hey, I was reading in the book of Acts today, and Paul is addressing King Agrippa and Festus, one of the other governors. And Paul begins to recount to King Agrippa his conversion and how Jesus Christ saved him on the road to Damascus and about the light. And he continues to go on throughout this discourse and begin to talk about his life, his story. He's given King Agrippa his story, right? And how God saved him, how he used to be a vile killer, and now he is actually preaching the gospel that he once came against. And then in the middle of his speaking, Festus looks at him and tells him, now, as he has thus made his defense, Festus said with a loud voice, this is in chapter 26, verse 24, Paul, you are beside yourself. Much learning has driven you mad. But Paul looks right at Festus and says, I am not mad, most noble Festus, but speak truth and reason. Now, there's two words we haven't seen a whole lot of lately. By the media, by Facebook, by people in general. Truth and reason. Or maybe another word could be used, common sense. So when you speak truth, not everybody's going to agree with it, but here, 2,000 years ago, think about this, 2,000 years ago, Paul professed Jesus Christ, told him about his salvation story, and Festus tells him he's mad. Now, Paul just looked at him and said, no, I'm not. He didn't get mad at him, but he just simply told him, I speak words of truth and reason. And I'm telling you right now, very few people are speaking words of truth and reason with all this rioting, looting, everything going on in the world, COVID-19, everything. There is very little truth and reason going on in anything. And incidentally, if you know what God has put in your heart, and God has spoken to you, and obviously Paul knew this because he experienced it, his own conversion. If you continue to read in the very next chapter, you'll see that Paul is on his way to Caesar, to testify before Caesar. He tells them not to go, but they went anyways because the storm was coming. The storm does come. It basically is going to destroy the ship. God speaks to Paul in a dream and tells him that if you stay in the ship and everybody stays, I will give you your life and all those that are with you. So the same guy, just the chapter before, that Festus is calling mad because of his knowledge, 200 and something souls on a ship are now indebted for their lives to him because he stood his ground just like he stood with Festus and just calmly said, nope, I'm speaking words of truth and wisdom. He told them not to go. He spoke the truth. And he gave them the reason, because this is not the time to sail because the storms come up. But then when it happened, he told them the truth again. God came to him and told me that he would save everybody. And now all of a sudden, everybody is listening to Paul. And Paul saved all of their lives. Now, speak the truth. Speak words of truth and reason. And get your face in the Bible.